primetime Poulton, keep it entertaining. You already know when outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Fighting Wolf, U.S. Assassin, doing just what he loves. This is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar. No, I'm not fronting. That's how just a writer became a moral compass. This is primetime Poulton. This is primetime Poulton. Let's go. It's all about the boom. TMC, baby. It's all about the boom. Cowboy Phil, baby. Hit him with the body slam, elbow drop. TMC, Cowboy Phil, laid pot guys. What you see in the ring are two monsters. Energy of a king and of a rock star. Yeah, drop kick, probably make your heart stop. You ain't ready, super scary, and they staying on top. Hit a ding ding, better watch yourself. It's TMC and Cowboy Phil. Late pot guys, yeah, they the real deal. It's TMC and Cowboy Phil. 2 times a week, you can't compete. They body slam you down, now you taste the beat. The champions, they legendary, nobody like them. Coming for the belt, yeah, they coming for the title. Hey, it's all about the boom. TMC, baby. TMC, yeah. It's all about the boom. Cowboy Phil, baby. Let's go. Cowboy Phil, baby. Hey, 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 yeah, let's go.
What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. We're not that late. I messaged Phil and said I'm running late. I was out to dinner. I was having sushi, and I pulled into the driveway, and it was like 7:55, and I was like, "Oh my god, I have a live stream."
What kind of sushi did you get?
So I got the my 2 favorites are the crispy crab roll and then shrimp tempura.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had a good dinner. I've had, I don't know, Phil, if you've been following, but the CGWF is back.
Are you kidding me? I'm just not talking to the moral compass. I'm not talking to the fulfillment king. I'm talking to champion.
You're talking to the deathmatch king. I killed their heroes last night, Phil. I killed John Malin and I killed Dale Keown.
I mean, you're just killing. You know what? It's like the Young Bucks. You're just killing the business. No one can match what you're doing. And I'll say it. I'm so glad to be using these last couple days to start working on PCO with you. That I'm riding those coattails, baby.
So I actually, we'll watch some CGWF. First, let's say hi to the chat. We got D-Wag. We haven't seen D-Wag in a long time. What's up, Darren? Bow. And we got our man Eddie Winkler, one of the original main event misfits.
Yeah,
it's good to see Eddie back.
Come a long way from our opening days there, friend.
Absolutely. Remember when we just used to record this and post it and not even do it live?
What the hell were we thinking?
It's actually, I think, the 1 year or 2 year anniversary of that. Like we did an NXT in your house review.
Yeah. NXT's always been the show, and it seems like Impact and NXT have always been the show in our hearts.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into the wrestling talk and the CGWF, Phil, what time is it?
It's time to pay the bills.
Absolutely. U.S. Assassin versus Graveyard Shift Ultimate Edition. We had a great weekend. We raised over $5,000. We unlocked the first stretch goal. There's a new stretch goal to unlock, though, at $10,000. And I'm very happy with this campaign. We were the #1 trending book over the weekend. And this is, I hate to say it's a reprint, but it is an extended version. It's a director's cut of U.S. Assassin versus Graveyard Shift, my favorite book. I love this book so much, Phil. I'm getting that awesome half U.S. Assassin mask tattoo on my forearm.
That's amazing. What are you doing on the inside part here, or is it like the outside?
So I'm getting it on the inside with the flames a little exaggerated wrapping around to my forearm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Next month in July, I'm getting it done.
Where are you getting it done? Can we plug the shop?
Sure. It's Reflection of Souls in Atco.
Cool. Awesome.
I went to high school with the guy. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for this book. So all the work's done on it. And, as always, it'll be another quick turnaround for me. I mean, I am the fulfillment king. This book, you know what my favorite part about this book is, Phil? This cover right here. This was penciled by legendary G.I. Joe artist Ron Wagner, my favorite G.I. Joe artist. But you know what makes this cover even better? Ron was Mike McMahon's instructor. And when I found that out, I commissioned Ron to do this. It's a homage to my favorite G.I. Joe cover, G.I. Joe 76. But Ron just did the pencils, and then I surprised Mike and had him ink his teacher.
It's amazing. It's true love for the industry.
Yeah, no. This book means so much to me. And you know who's excited about this book? Flip Gordon. He's not the mercenary anymore. I mean, he'll always be the mercenary. He's Unreal Flip Gordon right now, and his videos on his Instagram, I think, have been fantastic.
That's awesome.
The whole thing with Marty Skrull that he was doing? I don't know if you saw any of that.
Is it not time for both of those men to pop up and be all elite?
Yeah, I think so. That would be fantastic. We've said it before. Marty's he did his time.
Yep. He's surprisingly he's been out longer than I thought he would be.
Yeah.
Considering all the other people who are welcomed back with open arms, I think Marty I think he's done more than his time.
Yeah. So Flip's been sharing the campaign. He's excited about it. He loves this cover. So that's been awesome working with him. So this is the cover to the hardbound edition, but we also have a softbound edition with an incredible cover by Eric Nienoltowski. This is awesome. You got the four main players in Graveyard Shift: Lilith, Vlad, Sea Urchin, and Mick, with the whole U.S. Assassin team. It's incredible. Eric did a fantastic job. Anthony George on the colors. Just awesome.
It reminds me of early X-Men number 3. Jim Lee when the Magneto had like the blue team face the gold team. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, nope. I definitely see it. Some work from the interior of the book, some mercenary pages. I just love the mercenary in his Arctic gear. And then some U.S. Assassin Bazooka Dog. Mike gets better every volume, and Anthony George on colors just makes it even better. But that's not it. We have the variant cover to Tyler Kirkham's Final Boss, where we have the U.S. Assassin characters facing off against Tyler's Final Boss characters. This book is limited to 100 copies. We have the Volume 4 Ashcan, guest starring Rowdy Roddy Piper. And then the add-ons like this awesome U.S. Assassin Wrestling Buddy. And for the first time ever, I'm making all my available in-stock books available as add-ons. So get caught up on Graveyard Shift, Sea Dog, U.S. Assassin, Viking Wolf. It's a good time to catch up, Phil.
Definitely.
And then first 100 backers get this Mike McMahon CGWF trading card. It's the second card in the set. First one being the Moral Compass. So if you haven't backed U.S. Assassin versus Graveyard Shift, please consider it. Check out the page, share it with your friends. I'm really proud of this book. It's probably my favorite book I've done. Pizza Tree with my son, but this is right up there.
I think it's funny because this is like a love letter to your childhood. I think Pizza Tree's a love letter to your child, while I think this volume of U.S. Assassin is a love letter to you as a child.
Yeah, no, I said it's the spiritual successor to the Supreme Bloodstrike crossover back in the day, where it was just like Supreme laid waste to Bloodstrike.
It was amazing. I love that. Talk about an underrated series, Bloodstrike.
Yeah. Nope. Rob was ahead of his time with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get into a little CGWF action, and then we'll talk the legend of Cody Rhodes. I can't say enough about this guy. He's incredible, but that'll have to wait. Oh, we got Nicholas Gear in the chat. Nicholas has the Relentless Tin Soldier on Indiegogo. Check it out. Nicholas is always commissioning the coolest artwork for his character. Phil, I don't know if you follow Nicholas on Twitter, but you definitely should. He's always showing off cool artwork. All right.
I think I do. If not, I'm rectifying that mistake immediately afterwards.
All right. So CGWF kicked off last Friday, Phil. The launch of U.S. Assassin versus Graveyard Shift. What better way than to have the co-creator of U.S. Assassin and Graveyard Shift, the Moral Compass, Mark Poulton, facing off against the other co-creator of Graveyard Shift, John Malin. And it was for the Primetime Championship. And the match took place in the Primetime Arena.
Home field advantage.
It's on the Primetime Poulton channel. This is my belt. This belt was made after me. This is like the Brahma Bull belt. This is my Brahma Bull belt.
It's the smoking skull belt.
Yes. So who would you think would be the first ever Primetime champion?
Primetime Poulton, the Moral Compass.
You would think. And I was. But just like the Rockers won the tag team titles and the WWE never acknowledged it because the ropes broke during the match, there was a technical difficulty, and my title victory was not acknowledged.
Damn it.
And the match had to be redone, and I got screwed over. John Malin, the first ever Primetime champion.
I mean, we understand, it's an uphill battle, but all things get fixed here on the Primetime Poulton channel.
Absolutely. The powers that be, they heard my complaints. I have this new Legends deal, Phil. Now that I'm a Hall of Famer, I got this sweet Legends deal. I kind of call my shots, and they don't want to tick me off. So they rectified the matter. They had a series of death matches last night. They had the Jack Show, which is John Malin, Cecil, Anna, and Kelsey Shannon go against the Ballers, which is King Shane Davis, Mandy Summers, Patrick Thomas Parnell, and Dale Keown. So the two shows faced off in a series of death matches. Only one show survives. Well, it came down to John Malin versus Dale Keown in a match, and you know what? We're gonna just play the match.
Let's go.
Here we go.
What a coward. Runs away because he doesn't want to watch Malin.
Oh, is this allowed?
Well, I did say there's no rules on the death match. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new contender in the death match tonight.
I inserted myself into the match.
He's been incredibly big.
I mean, laying waste right away. This is the type of swerve that we need. This is probably the best swerve of the week, and we had a pretty damn good swerve on Monday night.
Poor John Malin.
Seemingly teaming up with Dale Keown to
Oh, wow.
take out the competition.
I do like the buff you received.
Revenge.
It's even better in watching the match live.
That's his new nickname. He's now Thirsty Poulton. I expected as much after him and Phil jumped me into that thing to
dirty, rotten rats.
Tricked me into giving them a spot in the Hall of Fame, and now here he is.
Nice shoulder breaker on Malin.
Lost Friday.
I like how I do enjoy the fact when they said tricked
I have to
us. No,
say,
no.
Mark
We
Williams, yeah.
earned that spot into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I agree. We are grateful. But look, Malin giving them both the runs. Malin taking on 2 people right now. It's still coming out on top.
This is going to be ugly.
Just laying into Malin. It's going to be awkward tomorrow when I fly into Michigan to sign some graveyard shift books, Phil.
I mean, especially if he's dead.
Wow.
Yeah, he was going to pick me up at the airport.
Now the spirit of Malin.
Wow. Poulton is so much larger now that he's actually larger than Malin.
It's I mean, we all know this isn't natural, correct?
There's no way it's natural. It happens.
This is
so
all
quickly.
natural.
I think there needs to be some kind of a
There's a
drug test
workout post if you follow Primetime Poulton.
done.
Yeah.
We need to see what this guy's on so I can get some.
Sizing them up. No, we're not. Okay. About to give him the Poulton
There it is.
flex.
Poulton
Signature
flex.
move.
There it is.
Now, if this were a pin kind of
You know the
match,
Poulton
that
Plex
would
is
be head-to-head,
catching
but-
on
right.
when people can just
Yeah.
call it.
It is indeed.
Nice Indian Deathlock
What
by
is
Dale
that?
Keown.
I've never
See, they
seen that
needed me
move
on
before.
play-by-play. They didn't know what the moves
Just,
were.
oh my gosh, just going Office Space on him right now.
And there it
Is
is.
anyone screaming?
He is screaming.
Oh,
Fatality. See, and then Dale, he did the wrong thing. He trusted me.
Oh,
It's a reversal.
he's going after Dale now.
Don't kill Dale.
Oh no.
Ah, what a glorious match. Oh, and we lost Cowboy Phil. That's all right. I'll talk to the chat. Nicholas Gear says, thanks, appreciate that. No problem, Nicholas. You do great work. I'm excited for Relentless Tin Soldier. I got 1 and 2. I think I got all the books. Cowboy Phil will be right back. He just sent me a private message. That's all right. Take your time. OC Steve says pre-workout in the works. Yes. US Assassin pre-workout drink. And anyone that follows me on Instagram, they saw the US Assassin Gym We Train Killers shirts. I'll have them available. I'll have the US Assassin pre-workout drink. It's called Blood of My Enemies, and it'll be fruit punch flavored. As long as it's not the spinner belt. I was a big fan of the spinner belt. 24 Eyes, he's in the house. What's up? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so I'm the new primetime champion. I killed John Malin. I killed Dale Keown. And I'm not even sorry. They have a chance to be back. They're part of our new zombie division with Rob Arnold. OC Steve, any updates on the PCO comic? Yes, Cowboy Phil started work on the book this week. He's finally done with school. He actually had some award ceremony earlier today for something to do with school. I don't know, but he's working on the book. Hopefully we'll have some layouts. We'll have something to show people soon. I know PCO is excited to see something. Eddie Winkler in the house. Howdy, strangers. It's been a long time since we saw Eddie here. It's been a long time since we saw D-Wag here. Thanks for joining us. So basically today, we weren't going to review Impact or AEW. We were going to talk about the legend of Cody Rhodes. Cody was absolutely incredible at Hell in a Cell. I think it was like a legend-making performance. For those that don't know, he tore his pectoral muscle. It ripped off the bone. Will OC Steve be in the PCO comic? OC Steve, for those that don't know, is sort of the reason there is a PCO comic. So OC Steve will definitely be part of it. Oh, here's some wrestling news. I'm going to work with, one of my favorite factions reached out to me and asked me to design their T-shirt. So I'll keep that under wraps until it's ready to be shown off. Eddie Winkler says that was nuts. Yeah, Cody's performance was insane. When word, I guess, leaked out that he was injured, I guess a lot of people were thinking the main event wasn't going to happen. I don't think doctors wanted him to wrestle, but he took it upon himself to say he was okay, and WWE let him wrestle in the main event. And oh my gosh, that's the difference between AEW and WWE. That reveal of Cody taking his robe off, and then you see how bruised his chest was and his bicep, and the whole crowd gasped. That was filmed perfectly. Kevin Dunn. No one can top WWE's production, and that reveal was incredible. And you know, the reveal was great, but then the match was even better. And I'll say Cody is the wrestler of the year, even though he won't wrestle for the rest of the year. I don't see anyone having a better performance. He wrestled what, 3 pay-per-view matches for WWE and a handful of Raw matches, and the guy, as far as I'm concerned, is wrestler of the year, superstar of the year. And he's proving that Cody is better than Triple H. Absolutely. Yeah, no. So I wish Cowboy Phil was here, because I want to talk about why didn't AEW fans appreciate Cody? Does just WWE present him as a better superstar? I mean, yes, they do. I think the booking for Cody was bad. I mean, I think Cody even said it himself when he was on the Stone Cold Broken Skull sessions. He wasn't selfish enough, so he was trying to get guys like Anthony Ogogo over, and he he was better than that. But man, what a performance! I saw that, and I saw the women's match for Hell in a Cell, but really all I wanted to see was the Cody match, and it didn't let down. OC Steve says Cody is better as a face. Too many heels in AEW. Too much talent in AEW, to be honest. I mean, not that that's a bad thing. Hey, there he is. Cowboy Phil is back.
Hey, sorry, y'all. When nature calls, you got to answer.
All right, so we were just talking about why didn't the AEW fans appreciate Cody? I think WWE did a better job as presenting him as a star, booked him better. I mean, I think Cody's a little at fault for his booking in AEW, choosing to do programs with guys like Anthony Ogogo and QT Marshall.
I think it's always going to be that Cody always felt like a WWE guy. I don't think that even in New Japan, right, when he was starting off with the Bullet Club and he wasn't fully accepted into it, and the Elite, right, even being the Elite made those nods. And I think it just came down to a point where they felt like Cody never was one of them for some weird reason. And I think him going up against an Anthony Ogogo and a QT Marshall, but then choosing himself to go over Brody Lee, I think that, and then, unfortunately Brody Lee's passing afterwards, I think that kind of what got the ball rolling. And you know what, he took the belt off of a great TNT champion when they didn't have to, and I think that's what happened. And
also, I think Tony Khan, it's pretty obvious to see what type of wrestling fan he is. A smart fan. He gravitates more towards the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, not a Cody Rhodes.
Not an MJF.
Yeah.
Like, he signed MJF, but man, was that promo he gave on Dynamite not an all-timer. That was amazing.
No, and I'm not a fan of MJF, but that promo was great. That's one of the other subjects we're going to talk about. What's your feelings on MJF at this point? They have, this is another thing we're going to have to cover with AEW. CM Punk is injured. We're going to have an interim world champion. Is MJF in this picture at all, or?
So here's my thoughts on it. When it comes to this whole situation, I think Tony Khan shot themselves into, and MJF shot themselves into a work. I think ultimately they ended up getting a deal made, and that's why he was able to go out there and pull that worked shoot sort of promo. But I think when it comes, and I think later that night, I think you saw the stumbles of AEW throughout the course of that episode, and the fact that when Moxley was announced as the number one contender, jumping over 4 spaces up, and Tony Khan trying to rectify it, it was stupid, right? And I think we've said it a lot on this show. Mox is very meh as a champion. I don't care for him as a champion. I don't want to see him as a champion. But the Wizard, a 2-time AEW champion, to be the perfect interim sports entertainer, so when CM Punk comes back, we can get a proper Jericho Punk feud from the lousy one they had back in the day in WWE. I think this would be a great sports entertainer versus wrestler. And you could have the Jericho Appreciation Society help him win all these matches. So then Punk can be like, what can you do without your cronies? They'll have a match where they get banned, and ultimately Punk, when they fight, Punk wins and continues being champion. That's the only way I can see them going. Or you just do what we said in the first place, and you give it to Wardlow, and you just push him to the moon. He's only an interim champion. This is a great way to build a guy.
Yeah, no, I would be all for Jericho as the champion. I love Jericho Appreciation Society. Daddy Magic is one of my favorite wrestlers now. He's fantastic.
I don't know if you listened to Talk is Jericho lately.
I did.
Did you listen to the Jericho Appreciation Society episode?
Uh-huh.
So much better than the Inner Circle episode.
Oh, absolutely.
Because these guys work together.
Yeah.
Pure sports entertainer. And the way, and 2.0 they just feed off of Jericho's energy. And Daniel Garcia showed some real personality in there. I am so for the Jericho Appreciation Society. I think we always say, how can Jericho top Jericho? And he does it again. The Anarchy in the Arena match got 5 stars. That should tell you something.
That was a great match. 24 Eyes says AEW doesn't have heels or faces in a traditional sense. Splat Guts. Years ago, a coworker said he saw Cody in whatever the WWE D League was called at the time. He said he was a much better wrestler than most people gave him credit for.
He is. Real storyteller in the ring.
Eddie Winkler says they'd be stupid not to put it in a title run, but I don't see it happening. And then Jericho is a lost cause. And Tanahashi versus CM Punk at Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, Tanahashi made the offer. I would love to see that happen.
And I think this is what gets me. This Forbidden Door pay-per-view, wasn't supposed to be a title match. And now we know whoever the opponent is at New Japan because it's going to come down to the winner from New Japan versus the winner of this AEW match, right? You already know an AEW guy's winning, so you might as well give it to a Wardlow or a Jericho, who the New Japan Pro Wrestling fans absolutely love. They would get so many streams in Japan if Jericho was the champion in a main event against one of their guys, because he's done it over and over again with Omega.
Jericho's had a great run over in New Japan. I'm all for continuing it, especially with an all new character. He first was the Painmaker, and now have this something that's totally different, and in my opinion, better.
It is. That Wizard, the whole Wizard gimmick is absolutely amazing, and you could just tell the hair for hair match, which it doesn't matter who wins or loses that match, because both Santana or Jericho can make that look happen. I
Yeah.
think Jericho, a natural feud with, he's essentially the leader of the Jericho Appreciation Society, and Moxley, who's essentially the leader of the Blackpool Combat Club, whatever group, mix that they're going to have against each other. And then it also can make for Eddie Kingston versus Punk. Like after Jericho would lose to Punk, and then Punk could move on to Eddie Kingston, you'd have such a great feud. Jericho's the perfect interim champion. And if AEW does not listen to our pleas on the pod gods, and it's not Jericho or Wardlow, it's a total lost cause.
Here's a name for you. Do you see Eddie Kingston ever being a world champion?
No, but I see him being in title matches. He'll get a TNT championship run, and it'll be a nice big celebration. But that's what's great about Jericho. He elevates guys to feel like they can be in the main event.
OC Steve says Forbidden Door is going to be meh. Elite versus Bullet Club should be on the card. Speaking of Bullet Club, new member Ace Austin from Impact. I could see Ace Austin being the leader of Bullet Club at one point.
Do you see him as as soon as you texted me this, I immediately thought this is the young Kenny Omega becoming the cleaner and then ultimately taking charge. This is Ace Austin is a special talent. From the first time we saw him in the ring to the first time we saw him cut a promo, we said this guy's special. This is a great move for the Bullet Club. Great move.
And Jay White, his time's coming. He's eventually going to move on to something bigger. AEW. I know WWE had some interest in him at one point, but yeah, it just seems like he seems like the guy who could be the next leader.
Right.
OC Steve says El Phantasmo is moving up a weight class with adding Ace Austin. I saw that as well.
Perfect.
That's another guy I like. We don't see him enough over on Impact.
No, I mean, this is the start of something I think really cool. This feels like the new Bullet Club. I feel like Jay White was just a star on his own, and he was put in Bullet Club to keep Bullet Club a thing when the Elite left. I think this is the resurrection of the Bullet Club. This is giving me Omega, Bucks, Good Brothers vibes of this really starting to build. Like this is like the nice transition from Finn to AJ to Omega, and I think now Omega to Ace Austin. I can really see it.
Well, I mean, they got a great crew right now. Jay White, Ace Austin, the Good Brothers, Juice Robinson, Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, El Phantasmo. It's a good group.
Isn't Chris Bay still in the Bullet Club?
Oh, Chris Bay as well, yeah.
Think about it. Chris Bay and Ace Austin, right, alone give you that little bit of excitement feel to this new look Bullet Club. I'm all for it. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit of Impact. They have a Slammiversary coming up. They're having a hard time selling tickets, Phil. Did you know about this?
When half of your roster, when your major players, no pun intended, are gone, it is going to be a tough card to sell. You were building, you had Matt Cardona in your hands, right? And you had Brian Myers, and you fumbled at both. Moose can only carry you so long. He needs opponents to actually have some validity to it. I think Honor No More is what is selling the tickets. I think the Honor No More storyline is great. Our boy PCO, your boy Eddie Edwards, right? This, even Mike Bennett is having a great run in Honor No More. It just feels really cool. And I think that's what's selling tickets.
Yeah, honestly, Josh Alexander is Mr. Impact. The main event for Slammiversary should be Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards. Because this, the Honor No More thing it should be the main story, and instead it's been pushed down, and Eric Young is in the main event.
I mean, we love Eric Young, but this
Mhm.
is not a spot for him.
Honestly, Eric Young should be in the TNA Originals versus the Honor No More match.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah. So right now it's Honor No More versus the TNA Originals, and it's the Motor City Machine Guns and Frankie Kazarian with 2 spots open. Any predictions on who the 2 Originals will be?
I think Joe may be one.
You always
And
have Cowboy James Storm on call.
yeah, yeah, I think so. I think that'll be it.
Yeah.
Who do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, a lot of people seem to think Joe, and I don't know. James Storm just always seems like he's
Mhm.
one call away.
Yeah,
They've had Shark Boy and the Wildcat Chris Harris on on TV the last couple weeks. I think that's just a red herring.
I mean, yeah, and then you could play into Jay Lethal's feud with Joe, and that's what causes a distraction to have the TNA Originals lose. It writes itself.
Oh, I think OC Steve might have it. Chris Daniels and Samoa Joe.
Yes, Chris. Yeah, that's a good one, Steve.
Yep, that's a good call. Yeah. So also on Impact, we already said Matt Cardona is he tore his bicep. NWA has a pay-per-view named after him, Always Ready, next weekend. He's in the main event defending the NWA title against Nick Aldis. Is he going to be there? He says he's showing up. Is he actually going to wrestle with one arm?
Yes, he will. Because
I think he is too.
because when he loses, you know he's coming back for that title and saying, "I almost beat you with one arm. Imagine what I can do with 2." You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
the guy makes anything and everything work.
24i says AEW will get better after they drop the Bucks and get a few more WWE superstars on the roster. And they need to cut Omega.
Now we're just getting trolled. But no, I mean the Omega is sorely missed in AEW. Really missed. You know, after Jericho's title run and Mox had it, we were just waiting for Omega to get that title, and he absolutely crushed it with his title reign. And I think that's why the Punk thing is so disheartening, because we were ready for a good title reign. Because Hangman, God bless him, like him, but it was just not the moment to give him the belt.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to touch on, Phil, Judgment Day. So what a swerve. Finn Balor's the new leader of Judgment Day, and Edge is out. Now, I heard stories that Edge was against, they wanted to give the members of Judgment Day superpowers or supernatural powers, and he was against that. Do you think that played part of him getting kicked out of the group, or do you think with Cody out, they need a new top baby face, and let's make Edge the top baby face because Finn Balor just is never going to cut it as the top baby face?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think they said we need a new baby face and we need a real hand, right?
Yeah.
We need someone who can sell the product while Cody's gone. And naturally it's Edge, right? It'll always be Edge as long as he's on the roster. Cody was the only one who could really go above him, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I would have rolled the dice. I mean, AJ's been the guy before. Mm-hmm. I feel like AJ's probably also one of the top promos in the company.
But here's the thing. The Demon King. We know Vince loves The Undertaker.
Yeah.
He loves the Kane. He loves supernatural stuff. This was perfect for him to be like, we'll get that Demon King and we'll get the other ones all dressed up and it'll be great. You know that's what happened.
Yeah, so Finn Balor, I'm looking forward to Finn Balor heel run.
Yeah, I think, this is ultimately going to get over as a face faction. You have really good wrestlers on there with really good promos who look like stars. Damian Priest looks like $1 million every time he's out there. Rhea Ripley, they've just dropped the ball with her, and we know the star power she can bring.
OC Steve says Vince loves supernatural weirdness. And 24 Eyes says Tony Khan could just buy WWE. Remember, we thought WWE for the longest time was getting sold because they kept releasing people, making their books look good. We were like, oh, they have to be selling. And it never happened.
I think so. I mean, Stephanie taking a leave of absence too, I think also. But maybe there were just too many cooks in the kitchen. We put a lot of blame on Vince all the time. But their storylines as of late have been really good. So whoever they've hired to do so, then kudos to them because they're putting on some really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm just worried. Cody Rhodes was the main thing for me that I was interested in. I mean, they had the countdown to Cody telling you when he was going to be on.
Yeah.
So I'm worried with him not on TV. You know, Roman isn't going to appear as much now with his new deal. I do like Sami Zayn as one of the like honorary Usos, Sammy Uso.
I think ultimately we're gonna get Cody as champion. It's just gonna be longer. I think it's still gonna happen at Mania. I think this is just a little bump in the road. Viewership may dip unless they really try something. And I'm excited because for the first time in forever, it feels like WWE is trying. And that is really good.
OC Steve says, what is going to happen to ROH? Then he says, Tony making a touring developmental with some veteran talent. I see guys like Colt Cabana, Frankie Kazarian, Chris Daniels. Those would be like your veterans on Ring of Honor. And then you'd have like the younger guys.
Anthony Ogogo.
Yeah. Brock Anderson.
I think Johnny Honor.
Man, what?
Can I tell you a text message that I had last Wednesday, right? Where I was texting that outlaw, the evil twin, Pat McNulty. And when he sent me a picture of Johnny Elite getting a feature match on there, I said, I bet you Miro's going to come out and just absolutely squash him. And that was awesome. I think so. I'm actually all for the AEW sending those guys that no one really cares about down to ROH to get the stars more time.
Yeah. I could see like some mid card guys too, like Tony Nese. I could see him being like a main player in Ring of Honor. Speaking of Tony Nese, his pay-per-view match, Double or Nothing, with Smart Mark Sterling, they made Smart Mark Sterling into a Major Bendy, a variant. So I had to get it because I'm a completist. Because I'm collecting the Major Bendies. Here's my Jeff Jarrett one. Cowboy Phil, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Major Bendy's got the rights to Ric Flair's last match. They're doing a Ric Flair Major Bendy. It comes signed, limited to 750. The price tag, $200. Do I go in and get it? Yeah.
Yeah, go in. You know what? You only live once, right? You're a completionist, a collector. Ric Flair's autograph alone is about $200. So think about this. You're getting Ric Flair's autograph and you're getting a Major Bendy for free that completes your stuff. And it's a limited edition. You got to go with it.
And he's wearing his gear that he's going to wear in his last match.
Perfect. Yeah. It's a great send-off. You got to do. Mark, you owe it to yourself.
I feel like I deserve it.
I think you do.
All right. I think you talked me into it. I think I'm going to spend $200.
Go ahead. Go do it. Listen, you're the fulfillment king. Your campaign already has over 5 G's on it.
Yeah.
Get a little something for yourself. You deserve it.
Total for the year, what am I? I'm probably like at $200,000. So, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why not? OC Steve says Cody wins King of the Ring and wins at Mania. Do you mean the Royal Rumble? Because I think Cody returns at the Rumble, wins it, and then goes to Mania.
I'm just really excited for Cody's return. I think what Seth Rollins did, he could have easily said, you know what, I can get this win to be 2-1 because he's hurt. But he put Cody Rhodes over. And him coming out with the sledgehammer, go for it, man. If we need another Triple H, we need someone who's just a great villain. Never going to be a top guy. He'll be a top guy, but not the guy as a villain. I think Triple H when he made that call and said, I'm never going to be Rock, I'm never going to be Austin, but I can be the best damn bad guy that they go against. I think Seth Rollins is on that cusp.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins, especially this new character, but him coming out in the polka dots, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. If he's just a giant troll, that would be amazing. Seth Rollins, I feel like, has never gotten a good gimmick.
Yeah.
Like a gimmick that he can really sink his teeth into. Right. He's kind of been like, I have fire matches, so I burn it down. Right. Yeah. He's this new drip king after Morrison and Miz doing drip. That was, it kind of took some shine off of that. The Architect really wasn't anything. So I think he needs a real reboot. I think this could be a start of it, hopefully.
OC Steve says new AEW title announced, All Atlantic Championship. Is this true? Do they have a new title? I think they need dark titles, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Or TNT tag team titles, something.
Well, apparently the trios titles are done and finished, but they're waiting for Omega to come back because they, what it would ultimately be, the Elite versus the Undisputed Elite of just being
right
Adam Cole and Red Dragon versus the Bucks and Omega. And Omega and the Bucks would get a huge pop. That would be a great match. So I'm glad they're holding on to that one.
Nothing for House of Black though.
Well, that's the thing, is that they're all so good. They have great trios there. I mean, we witnessed that match on the pay-per-view, and House of Black is just so entertaining. They got everything.
Yeah. Did you see they did like they did like a signing, but it wasn't really a signing. It was like initiation into the House of Black. It was like this ceremony where people came in and they got inducted into the House of Black. They did it at this like creepy little store or something. It looked awesome. They had Julia Hart there with them.
That's so cool. That's fantastic.
Yeah. All right, Phil, any other wrestling news you want to touch on before we wrap this up?
No, I really wanted to talk about Judgment Day. Surprisingly. Oh, one last thing. Apollo Crews back in NXT dropped the
accent.
And we saw on Raw, T-Bar, feast your eyes. If we could get Dominic Dijakovic back, that would make this one happy cowboy. I would love to see Dijak back, because the guy's a stud.
And our man Max Dupree is hinting that something big's going to happen on Friday night.
I can't believe I'm saying this. The WWE's been entertaining since Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, he's energized the entire company.
So that's why I think, let's put things into perspective before we wrap things up. CM Punk stubbed his foot, broke his foot, relinquishes the title. About 4 days later, this man's pec is literally off the bone, and he puts on one of the best match of the year candidate. That's the difference between stardom right there.
Yeah. How big was Cody looking too? He was looking huge.
Yeah. Cody was fit. You know what? Well, you know what's better than one return of Cody Rhodes in WWE?
Yeah.
2 returns.
No, they have to start getting the My Sacrifice promo videos ready, like Triple H's return.
Yes. Hell yeah.
So I was going to ask you. You sort of already stole my thunder. Who's the bigger star, Phil? Cody Rhodes or CM Punk?
Ratings will tell you Cody Rhodes.
I agree with you, Cody.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all about minute per minute. MJF is up there with a Chris Jericho and a CM Punk and a John Moxley. You know who has better minute per minute ratings than all those dudes? Cody Rhodes.
Yep. So I think that's a perfect note to end it on. Cowboy Phil, where can people find you at?
You can find me on the Instagram and Twitter at Animated Phil.
And make sure you check out Phil's Etsy store. The link's in the description. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton. Hit the notifications. U.S. Assassin versus Graveyard Shift, currently live on Indiegogo. Mike did a crazy thing and offered 11x17 sketches, but they're full-on commissions. Cover quality, $75 free shipping in the U.S. There's 17 spots left. Get them, guys. Yeah, you won't find a better deal. Also, Blackout in demand. Books at the printer. I think the script book, I'm going to get this in either this week or next week. I'm going to Michigan tomorrow. If I don't, John's dead. So I don't know. I'm going to have to like Uber to his house and sign the books. I'm going to have to find someone to fulfill this for me because I can't stay in Michigan, Phil. I got stuff going on here in Jersey.
Hey, I mean,
yeah,
Jersey over Michigan anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Loose Threads, the mailing list page is up on Indiegogo. I have a jam cover, Phil, by Cesar Madaro and just George Perez, just one of the most legendary artists of all time. Probably top 3.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. So sign up for that. And all these books are done. You know, U.S. Assassin versus Graveyard Shift done. Loose Threads done. I have 4 books in production for 2023. Things are only getting bigger and better, Phil.
Yeah.
Actually, 5 books. You count PCO. You're on the ball now.
Oh my gosh. This, I got to tell you, I haven't sent it to you yet because I'm about to start inking it between my job interviews. This cover, I am so excited to send to you when it's inked because this is going to be crazy. I think this is probably, I hate to say this to hype it up, but it's probably my best work ever. I'm really feeling this. I think it's good to just get your hands back on a comic book and you're just like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love doing this.
Awesome. Well, get back to work then. I'm going to let you get back to work. Thank you, everyone in the chat for joining us. And I'm sure I'll pop up on a stream sometime while I'm in Michigan. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.